Broadcasting live from 44-degree downtown Cleveland. It's station WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and back by popular demand, the Grumpy Jackalope. And I am your host, the Grumpy Old Man. Oh, Jesus. And we're brought to you by this asshole. Grumpy Vulture Productions. Tucked in hand, not the face. Whoa. 30 minutes. Okay. I hope they win. I'm rooting for them. I did a little, I actually found my stronger microphone mount, and got it all set up. The only problem is screwing with the microphone. I hope I didn't mess up the settings. I'll tell you what. I've always said the last thing anybody ever wants to do is piss off a judge. Holy shit. I came across one just before airtime. It's on Court Cam TV Official. That's the YouTuber. And the title, Defendant Targets Female Prosecutor with Obscene Threats. Judge locks him up. This is a brand new judge to me. Her name is Rosemary Aquilina. Holy shit! She read the letters that this defendant, young kid, wrote threatening the prosecutor. Oh my God, I couldn't believe that she actually didn't redact anything. Whoa! I'll tell you what, the more she read, you could see the look on that kid's face like, oh, I fucked up. Oh, this kid used every obscene word ever heard on earth in these letters. And she read almost all of them. And you could see the public defender standing next to him going, oh, shit. He made my job worse. And then they were there for a motion for bond reduction. After reading all those letters, she revoked the bond. And she told them, you better take a plea deal, because when the prosecutor reads these in front of the jury, you're going away for a long time. Oh, I like him. I wish I knew how he pronounced. Is it Tep or Teppy? You never hear his name mentioned. Now, I would pronounce it Tep, but he could pronounce it Teppy. But I love the guy. He's one of my new favorite judges. And I'm hoping to find more of this Judge Rosemary Aquilina. I've got to find out where she's at, what court district. Oh my God, I'll tell you what. She read every cuss word, swear word, filthy word that kid wrote. And then she dressed him up one side and down the other. And the look on his face when she revoked his bond, and then she told him, one more letter, with even one close to obscene word, you're getting 93 days for contempt. And she said, that isn't what would be combined in your sentence if you go to jail. She goes, that's going to be separate and apart. So just keep writing letters. First thing she said, how would you feel if somebody wrote a letter like this about your mother? And he went, I would really be upset. And she just, the look she gave him like, well, the prosecutor is somebody's mother. The tablet wants to do another a restart of the show. Enough already. The tablet's sitting on the other side of the console over here. Decides it wants to do a restart of the show. I was actually thinking I'd be talking to myself. I looked over at the chat and went, holy shit. I'm pretty sure, I think I sent you that YouTube court cam TV so you can hear the judge reading them letters. She looks like she could be, somebody's nice, sweet grandma baking cookies. Then when she started to read them letters, I was like, holy shit. But I'll tell you what, she didn't skip a beat. Every filthy cuss word that he put in them letters, she read. Especially when the guy said that prosecutor could suck on a certain part of his anatomy. And when she read that line, the public defender just went, oh, no. Oh, the filth that he had. Oh, he didn't hold back. You could tell he was maybe a little pissed. But every filthy word that he wrote, she read in court to make a point. I could almost, hey, Oodles is here. I wish they would have had a camera, kind of scanning the courtroom, because I bet you his mother was about ready to crawl under the tile. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And I mean, he wrote some filth and threats. Oh, he made threats. As a matter of fact, the judge asked the prosecutor, are we going to have more charges coming? Because I see outright threats in these letters. And the public defender, he just kept hanging his head like, oh, God, this kid is burying me. There ain't no way I'm going to be able to defend him. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever watched anything on Court Cam TV official. As a matter of fact, I know because every time I come across a new YouTuber like this, and it's anything court related, I save it. You know, I put it in my notifications, and I didn't have this one, but unreal. As a matter of fact, I kind of scanned over it, you know, and I was like, defendant targets female prosecutor with obscene threats. And I almost didn't click on it. And I looked at the time and went, oh, I can squeeze this in. Holy macaroni. You'll never guess what's sitting on my stove, Kathy. A huge, huge batch. I went up and I bought a nice big cabbage. There's a huge batch sitting on the stove. As a matter of fact, I remembered the breadcrumbs today too. I think I'm addicted to cabbage and noodles. That's okay. I'm loving every ounce. Then watching, you know, I am sick and tired of watching these court cases with, you know, this 17-year-olds to 25-year-olds. And every single one of them suffers from PTSD. Every single kid. Oh, I had a bad childhood. Well, I've talked about mine several times. I haven't gone out and unalived somebody. I haven't gone out and carjacked somebody. I haven't robbed multiple banks. Maybe I have some PTSD from my childhood, but it's not causing me to go out and commit heinous crime. Okay, maybe over the years I stole a couple of pens and some paper clips. It was today. I watched multiple arraignments today. And every goddamn defense attorney, oh, my client had a bad childhood, and you know, he suffers from PTSD. What was the bad childhood? He didn't have a PS5. He had a PS3. So he's suffering because all of his friends had a PS5. Or he didn't have the latest iPhone. So he has PTSD. Oh, the bullshit. And if I hear one more police chase where a guy takes off from a car running and gets apprehended and then gives the old, I can't breathe. You know, all of you criminals have worn that line out. You've worn it out to the point where nobody even pays attention. As a matter of fact, the state trooper that arrested this one guy said, if you can talk, you can breathe. And threw his ass in the cruiser. Yeah, as soon as he got cornered, this guy, he fell down. Oh, did he play the act? I can't breathe. Oh, I can't breathe. And the trooper said, well, yeah, it's because you've been running from me. That's why you can't breathe. That and the PTSD, it's getting old. These kids today should have been raised the way I was. Then maybe they could use that as an excuse. Oh, they have PTSD because their buddy's parents bought him a brand new Land Rover and he's driving a 4-year-old Beamer, you know. Oh, a Michigan judge. Whoa. I wonder, I'm going to have to do some investigating. I wonder if she has a YouTube channel. Or if she runs a camera daily in her courtroom. I would love to watch some of her stuff. You know, I have noticed more and more judges are allowing filming in the courtroom now. Especially more Michigan judges after they see the popularity of good old Judge Middleton. Well, we'll have to research and see if anybody follows her. I would tend to think there's cameras in the courtroom if this got published by Court Cam TV. Kathy, have you been watching Middleton lately? You know, now that he's in the last of his term, he's getting a little cranky with people. He's throwing more people in jail, and I guess he figures, hey, the end of the year I'm gone, so time to pull out the stops. Yeah, he's been a little cranky lately. Although I'm sure, you know, he's had it up to here with the bullshit from people. God, he had a kid the other day. He was either 20 or 21. And he got a DUI. And this kid was 3.5 times over the limit. And the officer said he was functioning, which means this kid has been drinking since his early teens to build up a tolerance like that to liquor. And Middleton commented, he said, you know, I'm seeing more and more and more. 2 times over the limit, 2.5 times over the limit. And it's all the younger generation. This one's for you, Kathy. I have to finish up the crappy generic. Because I got 2 more Ocean Spray today. They finally got it back in stock. Matter of fact, the kid that was stocking the shelf kind of looked over. He said, you know, nobody really drinks that stuff. And all of a sudden, every time I go to order, the shelf is empty. I said, well, I'm the one drinking it, and I'm the one emptying the shelf. Keep it coming. I'll be on it for quite a while. You know, I'm going to miss Middleton. I really am. And he made it clear he won't be returning as a visiting judge. He said at the end of the year, his career is over. Although, God, he was a prosecutor and he's been there for a godzillion years. I'd like to see him name that courtroom after him. The Jeffrey Middleton Courtroom. Like they did when, oh God, his name just went right out of my head. Caught in Providence. I had it and it just went. Getting old sucks. Oh, I love old Squishy. I watch a lot of his stuff. I love old Squishy and I love Van Balen. And it's amazing. There's a guy over in England that knows more about the American court system than most Americans. Van Balen is amazing. I am just amazed at how much he knows about American judicial system. I don't know whether he might have studied over here or what. Caprio, yeah, oh God, how could I forget him? He's another one I miss. What a wonderful guy he was. That's so sad. And nobody will be able to replace him. I used to love the stories, or when he would stop and tell people how to make his mother's meatballs. But Van Balen, I'll tell you what, that guy amazes me because he rattles off different penal codes and God, I wouldn't know where to even think of looking for some of that stuff. And I'll tell you what, that guy must live on his computer because he is right there with a new video constantly. Bang, 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 bang. All right. Give him some cheering from me. And let's hope they win. Drive safe. If you're going to be listening in the car. Or in, I should say, the honkin' F-150. Oh. Not too many notes today. I got too engrossed in videos to write a lot of notes. All right, Kathy, drive safe. I got a little pissed off up at the store today. This guy came out with a cart, and I'm talking a flat cart. I'm not talking a shopping cart. And he must have had at least 30 gallons of milk. And I know exactly what he's doing. He's buying the milk, and he might have wiped out the stock for the day at the discount price that this store sells at. Because the buyers for this store are really shrewd. I mean, they'll pinch a supplier's ass right down to the last half penny to get a deal. So milk is on sale. And it really pisses me off that they allow this to happen. No limit. This guy had at least 30 gallons. He's buying it for his corner store. Which, okay. But see, the reason he's buying it here is because he probably has already talked with a milk supplier and he couldn't get that kind of discount. And the reason Marks is getting this terrific discount is the guy has stores throughout the state of Ohio. He's got buying power. He's got bargaining power. So this little one-man store isn't getting this kind of discount. I could guarantee when he gets back to his store, he's going to triple the price. Because all these certain stores like to gouge the shit out of their customers. Because they know they're in that convenient location and it's kind of guaranteed business. So they mark everything up 2-3 times what they pay for it. Because they know probably 80% of their customers are paying with what used to be food stamps. In Ohio, it's called the direction card. Or the SNAP card. I can't remember. So let's take advantage of the poor people because they might not have transportation to get to a shopping plaza. And it's kind of like guaranteed business. And I have complained about this many times. They should not allow this to go on. Of course, they can't refuse, but they could put limits. But Marks don't want to lose a customer. But here's this guy going out with about 30 gallons of milk. And you know when he gets back to his store, he's going to mark it up 2.5-3 times what he paid for it. Because he knows his customers are paying with a food card. What a bunch of bullshit. Because I guarantee you, he has called every milk supplier in the area. And they say, well, here's your price. And he's like, well, how come he gets such a deal? He's got stores throughout the whole state. Probably over 100 stores. Someone with 100 stores is going to get a tremendous discount versus someone that has one or maybe two. So this guy comes in, wipes out the daily stock, which means if a customer like me comes in later on in the day and wants a gallon of milk and it's gone, I have to go somewhere else. And I'm tired of seeing this shit go on like this. There was a store owner several years ago. Now, where I happened to live at that time was right across the street from the food bank. This city had its own food bank. And they caught two store owners coming in, getting the free merchandise that was for the needy, and taking it across town and putting it on their shelves for sale. Now, they were banned, but I don't know if they were prosecuted. And they should have been, because that food was free for the needy. Yeah, they had a relative that lived in that city that qualified for free giveaway food. So the person would go in, and they would always give a pretty fair amount of food, canned goods, so on. And then their relative would take it across town and put it up for sale in their store. Absolute bullshit. Like I say, I know that they were banned. I don't know if they ever got prosecuted. They should have. Companies are donating food, dry goods, canned goods for the needy, and they're taking it, probably marking it up 2.5, 3 times, and putting it in their store for sale. taking advantage of the poor people that live in the area. You know, when you've got a store and you have guaranteed business, you don't gouge the shit out of them. No one is going to begrudge you a little profit. But when you mark merchandise up 2.5, 3 times, that's gouging and taking unfair advantage of poor people. And I could almost guarantee that's what's going on with this 30 gallons of milk. If I had time, I'd consider following him to see where his store is and to see how much he was charging a gallon of milk. Because I could guarantee if he was buying it for $1.89 a gallon, he was probably selling it for $3.89 in his store. You know, sometimes these mom and pop stores have captive customers. Elderly people that don't have cars, that can't walk far, and they depend on this little corner store, and this little corner store owner is gouging the shit out of them. You know, that's like the little Indian store up the street from me. He's a little pricey, but he's not outrageous. I realize a little small one-store operation has to charge a little more to stay in business. I don't begrudge somebody making a little profit. And I have checked his prices, and they're not too much out of line. Because if they were, I wouldn't be shopping there. Not to mention, they are the nicest 2 brothers I have ever met. You know, I told a story about a guy that moved here from out of state. And he drank a certain beer, and he was looking in the cooler. And the one brother asked him if he could help him, and the guy said, "I'm looking for Brand X beer." And he told him, he said, "If I can get it, it'll be here." And I just happened to be in the store a week later when the guy came in. And the one brother said, "Looking cooler, looking cooler." And the guy looked in the cooler, and there was his beer. Now, maybe this guy's the only one drinking that beer. They went out of their way to secure a customer. They've done that with me. I've asked them if they could get a certain item. Week or 2 later, there it was. And they are the type, they get a new item in. and they think that maybe I'll like it, they'll give me one for free. Here, try this. Although they had these, it was almost like King's Hawaiian. It was called sweetbread. They were buns. I loved them. They gave me a free bag. Here, try them. I haven't had them since. I said, hey, what's with the, vendor on vacation. You get me hooked on something and then you don't have it. I think we might run a short show tonight. I have to finish my dinner. Maybe we'll knock off like at 8 o'clock tonight. Since Kathy's on the way to the ball game. The tournament. I hope the kids win tonight, because she just said after 2 losses, you're out of the tournament. Now they've had 1. We don't want them to lose again. Oh, I just noticed it's a little dark in this corner. There, we'll put a little light on the subject. Yeah, I'm looking at it going, how come it's so dark? Same thing, I got usually the light above me, come on. Maybe it's the camera. I got a blue haze to me, come on. Come on, camera. For some reason, the AI camera don't want to adjust tonight. Yeah, I got that blue haze. Usually when I move forward, the camera adjusts. Damn AI camera. Yeah, I like this microphone arm. It's more sturdy than the other one. Not to mention it brings the mic up a little higher. I found one of these on eBay. And it's up for bids. Not that I need another one. But for the price that the guy had the starting bid, I decided to bid on it. Now we're coming down to the wire. I think there's one more day. So far, nobody has bid against me. Keep my fingers crossed, because then I'll get one of these for Studio One, because I really like this microphone. Does a hell of a job. Hey, Rudy popped in. Kathy leaves and Rudy pops in. What, you guys pass each other in the hallway? Oh, you would think after drinking that shit for a month it would start tasting better. Blah. I'm thinking of calling Ocean Spray and ask if they can just run a pipeline from the plant. Put a faucet in my kitchen. They should give me a stock dividend. As much of that shit that I bought. Ugh. I got a vulture in my throat. I think I screwed the mic up when I put it on the new arm. I don't remember me being on function 3. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we went down the line. 3 was better than 2. And 3 was better than 4. Yeah, I just looked down and saw the light. I was like, is that where we were? Yeah, I'm going to have to follow up on that judge. Boy, she didn't hold anything back today. Oh, man. Out of Michigan. Yeah, I'll have to... Let me write that down. Kathy was nice enough to look up where she's at. Let me write it down. 30th Circuit Court. '30th Circuit Court. Ingham, Ingham County. Ingam. Ingham County, Michigan. Have to look her up and see if she runs a camera in her court. I was quite impressed with her. Especially when she read them letters in court. Holy shit. I think that kid was a little pissed off when he wrote them. Because he used every swear word on earth. And then she read them in court. Oh, man. His poor attorney just stood there shaking his head like, oh, this kid buried me. I'll never be able to defend him now. Because of the Judge Aquila, what's her name? Aquilina. She advised him to take a plea deal because she said, if we go to court, we're reading all these letters in front of the jury. So I would tend to think after court, the public pretender told him, hey, whatever the plea deal they offer, we're going to take it. Man, some of the filth that he wrote in them letters. Wow. I mean, yeah, I could see he's upset about, being in jail and this trial kind of dragging out. But to write that kind of shit, wow. Matter of fact, I saved it I'm going to replay it because I can't believe she read them letters per written. Every cuss word, swear word, vulgar word that kid wrote, she read in court. Scary. And I'm wondering what was going through this kid's mind. Did he actually think like they were going to throw them letters away? Especially when he sends them direct to the judge. There ain't no way she had that whole file. And she had sticky notes all over him. It was a riot. But she didn't. First of all, I can't believe a kid actually wrote letters like that. And second of all, I can't believe she read them in open court. If that kid's mother was in the courtroom, I'm sure she wanted to crawl into the woodwork. I'm sure she was embarrassed. I could guarantee she walked out of court and went, "That ain't my kid. I don't know whose kid it was, but not mine." Have to put a little more butane in the lighter. It's getting a little weak. Then, talk about dummy me. I'm wandering around the store, and every time I go in that store, they move something. I don't know why they just don't leave well enough alone. I'm walking up and down the aisle where the breadcrumbs used to be. And then I walked over in the next aisle. They weren't there. I walked over in the next aisle. They weren't there. Finally, I asked the girl at the service desk, I said, "You know where they moved the breadcrumbs?" And she said, "Did you look on the end cap by the bread?" I said, "No." So I walk back to the bread aisle, and I look at the end cap, and there they are. Every flavor breadcrumb on earth. So I get back up to the service desk to check out, and I said, "Gee, who'd have figured that breadcrumbs would be in the bread aisle?" I felt like an idiot. But there they were. They even have a new supplier. I was like, "Oh, I never saw these before. And they're a bargain price. I'll take them." Yeah, she just looked over her glasses at me and said, "Did you happen to try the bread aisle?" No, because they weren't in the bread aisle the last time I bought them. There they were. Every brand under the sun, every flavor under the sun. Who'd have figured? Breadcrumbs in the bread aisle. The last time I bought them, they were in the baking aisle. Not today. Breadcrumbs in the bread aisle. What a unique idea. And I probably walked past them twice because I didn't expect them to be in the bread aisle. But good thing I found them, because I found a breadcrumb company that's new to the store. And they were bargain priced. So I grabbed them. Let's hope they taste good. Yeah, when I got back up to the service desk, I said, last time I bought them, they weren't in the bread aisle. They were right down there in the baking aisle. Because I knew where they were, or I thought I knew where they were. And I walked right down the aisle and went, where the hell are the breadcrumbs? They were there last time, right on that top shelf. I was like, okay, maybe they're in the other aisle. I went over the cereal aisle. No breadcrumbs. I went over the snack aisle. No breadcrumbs. Finally, I said, I'll just break down and ask. And she looked over her glasses and I, did you happen to try the bread aisle? No. There they were. What a unique experience. Breadcrumbs in the bread aisle. I wonder who thought of that. Now, the next time I need breadcrumbs, they'll probably be in the dish soap aisle. It's the way this store is. Almost as bad as shopping Aldi's. Oh, I hate that store. Aldi's has got some great prices. And some great deals. But you never find the same item in the same location twice. And what I think is when they have an empty spot and they need to put up stock, they just put it there. Like the last time. I was looking for a certain candy item. I go in the candy aisle, and it's not there. It's okay, they're out of it. I needed to get laundry detergent. So I go over in the laundry detergent aisle, and what is at the end of the aisle? The candy item that was over in the candy aisle the last time I was at the store. Every time I go in that store, I can't find shit. Now, certain items are always in the same place, like eggs and milk and lunch meat. Anything else, you're in the cereal aisle and you're walking down, and then there's paper towels. And then more cereal. Why are there paper towels in the cereal aisle? Well, evidently there was an empty spot. And rather than rearrange the paper towel aisle, they put them right there. Like I say, all these has got some great prices. But it irritates the hell out of me because when it would normally take me 20 minutes to get my list, it takes me an hour and a half because you can't find shit. And then you'll ask an employee, where is such and such? Well, how do you expect me to find it if you don't know where it's at? Well, it used to be in aisle 7, but it could be in aisle 4 right now. So in order to find my list, I have to walk up and down every aisle. Every aisle. I'm looking for applesauce. Oh, it's next to the fabric softener. I don't know how they get repeat customers. Because even though there'll be something I need from Aldi's, I don't go there. Because that store raises my blood pressure every single time I go in there. Yeah, you have your normal items like fruit and vegetables are always in the same place. Lunch meat, always in the same place. Eggs, always in the same place. Milk, cottage cheese, so on. Anything else? Wherever they have an open hole. Like I say, it takes me 3 times longer. Yeah, I can go in there with a list of 5 items. I should be in and out in 15, 20 minutes. No. You got to walk up and down every aisle, look at every item. You walk down the canned goods aisle. Cereal? What the hell's cereal doing in between the canned goods? Oh, yeah, that's right. There was an open hole. The employees just come out with a cart, walk up and down the aisle. Look, there's an open spot here. There. Okay, so the fabric softener is next to cookies. Who cares? I was able to stock a shelf. So when I need certain things from all these, I only go there because I know the lunch meat's going to be in the same spot. I know the butter and eggs are going to be in the same spot. Otherwise, give up. So I get the sale ad, and if there's anything I need, like lunch meat, milk, eggs, then I go in the store. Because I know they're going to be in the same place. But if I need paper towels, it could be in the canned goods aisle. Oh. And I would have thought with us having a newer store, there would be some form of organization. Nope. So you have to walk up and down every single aisle to get what's on your list. Because where it was last time, it's not there this time. Almost as bad as Mark's. Breadcrumbs were in the baking aisle. Nah, not today. They're in the bread aisle. Who'd have thought? What a unique thing. Breadcrumbs in the bread aisle. I bet you the next time I go in the store, they're not there. Because Mark's is getting like Aldi's. Scary. And then we have that giga mega store, gigantic eaglet, where you go in and you have to have a guide. Because the store is so fucking big, you'll get lost. First time I went in there, I wandered around for like 3 hours. Where am I? I asked the kid stocking the shelf, where's the exit? He goes, I think it's that way, but it might be that way. Never mind, I'll find it. Store is so goddamn big you could drive a semi in it. Matter of fact, I think the last time I was there, a semi drove past me. Where are you going? The parking lot's out there. Yeah, it must be lost. And everybody wonders why I hate grocery shopping. My neighbor's like, well, you know, you could get Instacart. I said, what's an Instacart? It's an app. Oh, no. Oh, no. No apps for me. Nope. I ain't doing no app. It's like my buddy that owns the McDonald's up in Massachusetts. You know, if you download the app, you could get some senior deals. I'm not downloading the McDonald's app. No. If they want to give me a deal, give me the deal. No. If you want to get 2-for-1 burgers, you have to download the app. I just won't go to McDonald's. Matter of fact, I have to go to rallies. Because, well, it's a Checkers commercial, but Checkers and Rallies are the same place. They've been advertising these new smash burgers. So I have to go up to my Rallies and say, hey, do you have the Checkers smash burger? You don't? Well, I guess I have to go out of state to find a Checkers then. Yeah, the commercial comes on Checkers. Usually it says Checkers and Rallies. Evidently, Checkers has the smash burger and Rallies don't. So now I have to go up and ask. You have a smash burger? No, but we'll throw one out in the parking lot for someone to run over. That'll work. Throw 2 out. Dum, dum. I got my smash burger. There's a tire mark across it. Oh, I'll eat it anyway. I never knew what a smash burger was until Kathy told me. They pull a ball of meat on the grill and then they smash it. Makes sense to me. I'll have a smash burger. There you go. What a unique idea. Put a ball of meat on the grill and smash it with a spatula. And that's the burger. I'll take 2. Smash burger. Almost as bad as what they call a slider. It's just a mini hamburger. That's all it is. No, do we call it a mini hamburger? No, we call it a slider. Why? Because it slides down your throat easier? I don't know. I miss White Castle. I used to love White Castle burgers. I'd get them by a bag full. They used to have, you get a dozen burgers. Of course, they're only about the size of a postage stamp. But White Castle burgers, I loved them. And then they closed all the White Castles up. Matter of fact, the one White Castle building is still sitting vacant. I would have thought somebody would have opened something in there. Yeah, I used to like the drive-thru. Give me a bag of burgers. Here you go. Of course, in order for you to really taste them, you had to eat 6 because they were so small. But they had grilled onions, well, steamed onions. Steamed onions. They would take and pour onions all over the griddle, and then they would put them little tiny meat patties with holes in them. The meat patties had holes in them. They'd throw them on the onions. And the meat would steam with the onion juice. And then they made the burger. Little itty bitty. They would take one slice of cheese and cut it in 4. because that's how small the burgers were. One slice of cheese, cut it in 4. But they were good. You had to eat a dozen in order to get filled up, but they were good. Then they closed. No more White Castle. Kids nowadays have no idea what they're missing. I mentioned White Castle, and they're like, who? I tell them, yeah, they're little itty bitty burgers. You mean sliders? No. They were little itty bitty hamburgers. Like 2 bites. 2 bites, they were gone. That's why you had to buy a dozen. Because 2 bites and they were gone. But they were good. Yep, I pull up to the drive-thru. Give me a bag of burgers. Here you go. Then get home with a dozen burgers. 2 bites. Okay, that burger's gone. 2 bites. That burger's gone. 2 bites. 3rd burger. You're finally starting to taste hamburger after the 3rd burger. But it was only 2 bites. Then when you got done with all 12, you were still hungry, so you went back for 12 more. The girl at the drive would be like, you were just here. Yeah, I'm still hungry. Those 12 burgers, 2 bites of burger, they're gone. Here's your bag. Get home, eat the other 12. Okay, I'm filled up. Yeah, in order to taste them and get filled up, you actually had to eat 24. Because they were 2 bites. You tell kids nowadays, 2 bites. They look at you like you got 3 heads. What? Yeah, the burgers were little itty bitty. 2 bites, gone. Now, what are you buying them for? Because they were good. Yeah, but 2 bites. Well, that's why you got 12. But sometimes you had to get 24, depending on how hungry you were. So you get 24, 2 bites, gone, then you're filled up. And then you burp and you're hungry again, like eating Chinese food. You can sit there for an hour, eat Chinese food, get filled up, pay the bill, walk out to the parking lot to your car, burp, and you're hungry again. Like, oh, damn it, I got to go back in there. More egg foo young. Throw in a couple egg rolls. You just here. Yeah, I know, I'm hungry still. I burped in the parking lot. I couldn't wait till I got home. If I'd have burped at home, maybe I'd just more egg foo young, couple of egg rolls. Bring it. You're out of egg foo young? Oh, shit. What else you got? Kung Pao chicken? Okay. Take 1 bite of Kung Pao chicken. Holy shit, is that stuff hot? Jesus. I got no taste buds. Well, you order. Can you tell me it's hot the next time? They all stand in the kitchen and laugh. Gotcha. No, it's not Kung Pao chicken. It's General Tso's. Don't order General Tso's kit chicken. Because if you order General Tso's chicken, you won't have taste buds for about 3 months. Because it'll just burn them right off your tongue. That is the hottest shit I ever had in my life. No wonder they were giggling at the cash register when I ordered. Look at the menu. Oh, this sounds good. Give me some of that General Tso's chicken. What are you laughing for? They put them in them fancy throwaway paper containers. Here's your chicken. Oh, yeah, have a couple of fortune cookie, too. Thank you. Get home, pour it in the bowl. Take one forkful. Call the fire department. Bring an extra pumper. I can't feel my mouth. My taste buds have been burned off. Then 2 weeks later, you order some more. You back again? Yeah, I got taste buds. Give me some more of that General Tso's chicken. Here you go. Here, fortune cookie. And number for fire department. Thank you. Get home, pour it in a bowl. One bite, you call the fire department. Bring a pumper. Then you get your taste buds back after 3 months, and you order the shit again. Glutton for punishment. No, I only ordered that shit one time. Oh. Man, was that shit hot. Was like eating gasoline and charcoal. Then when my taste buds come back, I went, boy, that stuff was pretty good. Didn't fall for that no more. Although the Chinese restaurant down the street, I like them. You look at the menu. They mail them out. And the meal is rated with hot peppers. A little hot pepper. You get down to General Tso's chicken, and there's 47 hot peppers. Oh, this shit's hot. I ordered it one time. Although the Chinese restaurant I ordered it from didn't have no hot peppers on the menu. That's why the girl behind the cash register was giggling. I couldn't understand why she had an asbestos glove on when she was handing me the carry-out container, though. Yeah, they brought the order out. It melted the tray. She puts this big asbestos welding glove on, grabs the container, and hands it to me. Here's your chicken. Oh, you forgot the fortune cookie. I didn't have to turn the heat on in the car either. The takeout chicken kept me warm. That should have been the hint that it was hot. Melted a hole in my seat. Poured it in the bowl. Put the knife and fork in. The knife and fork melted. That should have been a hint as to how hot that chicken was. I went in the kitchen and got some tongs. Took a bite of that chicken. It didn't hit right away. It waited until I swallowed. And then I looked like a circus act. Flame came out of my mouth about 3 foot long. I grabbed my ears. They were hot. I dialed the fire department. Bring a pumper. Didn't have taste buds for 3 months. That was some hot chicken. Now I know. Matter of fact, anything on the menu that has General in front of it, whether it's General Tso or not, I stay away from it. But see, the Chinese restaurant that sends out the menus with the hot peppers, I don't care for their food isn't the best. The other Chinese restaurant got dynamite food, but they don't put hot peppers on the menu. That's how they torture you. You crazy American, we get back at you. Here's your chicken. Tee. I think I drank 50 gallons of water, 4 gallons of milk. I grabbed a bottle of honey, grabbed a bottle of molasses. Still couldn't cool that heat down. Pulled my tongue out, took a knife, scraped off my burnt taste buds. Still didn't have any taste buds. I don't know how anybody can eat that shit. Whoa. Well, the walking belly is here. You're right on time tonight, buddy. Yeah, sit there and look at me. Feed me. Yeah, I see it in your eyes. I know, you're ready to fall over from hunger. It amazes me how you can stand up on them feet with that big belly of yours. Well, now he's looking at me. You're insulting me. All right. I'll feed you. What the hell happened to my tablet? Oh, there we go. It went blank on me. Come on, get to the music. We know where, right here, WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We're probably around the corner by a dumpster, though. And with that, everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. It's been another fun night. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, everyone, take care. See ya. And since OBS likes to do it twice, see you twice. Bye-bye. Come on, clicker. I can't hold this look too much longer.